Mark Knopfler has never been one to chase the limelight, but his influence on music remains undeniable. As the driving force behind Dire Straits, his distinctive guitar playing and understated presence shaped a sound that bridged continents, weaving together the Celtic heritage of Britain with the wide-open landscapes of Americana. While the casual listener may recall Sultans of Swing or Money for Nothing as definitive moments in Knopfler's career, his body of work and the craft behind it reveal a musician of unparalleled subtlety and grace. Knopfler's approach to the guitar has always been rooted in authenticity rather than artifice. It is easy, when observing the ease with which he coaxes melodies from his instrument, to forget the depth of understanding and skill involved. When pressed about how he achieves his signature sound, Knopfler has always been refreshingly self-deprecating. In a world full of meticulous technical explanations from other guitarists, Knopfler's answer to such questions has often been disarmingly simple: plugging in, fiddling with the knobs, and settling on something that resonates.
So, you're doing everything wrong for a start. You're holding it wrong. I just hold it like a plumber holds a hammer.
He may laugh off the specifics, but this process speaks to a deeper truth about his style. It is instinctual, born not from a desire to impress, but from a quiet devotion to the sound itself. This humility is perhaps why Knopfler has earned the admiration of his peers, including giants such as Pink Floyd's David Gilmour, who once remarked that Knopfler had revitalized a lost art in guitar playing. It is a sentiment that rings true for those who have followed Knopfler's career. In an era when guitarists could easily be swayed by speed or flashiness, Knopfler stood apart, emphasizing tone and timing over mere technical prowess. His playing carries the weight of every note, each stroke guided by an innate understanding of space and rhythm. To reduce Knopfler's legacy to his tone alone, however, would be to miss the broader landscape of his artistry. His songs are rooted in narrative, often painting vignettes of ordinary lives and quiet struggles, echoing the great American storytellers of the past, while remaining distinctly his own. There is a sense in Knopfler's music that every note, every lyric, serves the story. Whether it's the swaggering riff of Money for Nothing or the delicate finger-picking of Brothers in Arms, his guitar never overwhelms, but rather enhances the emotional core of the song. He creates moments where music and meaning become inseparable. This deep connection to his instrument naturally leads to curiosity about Knopfler's own guitar heroes.
Dixon, but I swear you'll make me mad. The West will kill us both, you gullible Geordie lad.
Beautiful, man.
You talk of liberty. How can America be free? Geordie and a baker's boy in the forests of the Iroquois, yeah.
Over the years, he has spoken of his admiration for players such as Hank Marvin and Chet Atkins, musicians whose precision and melodic sensibility resonated with him from an early age.
All I wanted was a red electric guitar. And the only reason I wanted a red electric guitar was because it was the sound made by one of my all-time favorite guitar players. And I still wish I could get a guitar to sound the way he gets it to sound. And he actually recorded this tune, so he knows it. So here he is, one of the all-time favorites, the man himself, Hank B. Marvin.
Knopfler's hands, the guitar becomes a bridge between eras, a voice capable of conveying the timelessness of human emotion. There is a paradox in Knopfler's career that is difficult to ignore. For a musician so averse to the trappings of fame, his impact on popular culture has been immense. Dire Straits became one of the biggest bands of the 1980s, yet Knopfler himself remained something of an enigma, content to let the music speak for itself. In interviews, he has always been modest, deflecting attention away from his own accomplishments. This quiet dignity has become as much a part of his identity as the red Fender Stratocaster that he has so often wielded. But it would be a mistake to view Knopfler's humility as a lack of confidence. On the contrary, his playing is defined by an assuredness that only comes from a lifetime of immersion in one's craft. It is this mastery, this unspoken command over his instrument, that has earned him the respect of fellow musicians and listeners alike. The sound he produces is not merely the result of technical adjustments or amplifier settings, but the product of decades spent listening, absorbing, and translating those influences into something uniquely his own. As Knopfler continues to create, there is little doubt that his contributions to music will endure long after he has played his final note. He may never chase accolades or bask in the spotlight, but his legacy is already secure, etched in the memory of every note he has played, every story he has told.
You can do it.
In an industry that so often favors the loudest voice, Mark Knopfler has always been content to let his guitar do the talking, and what a story it continues to tell.
Mandolin's waiting for you.